Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Circle. I'm Tracy, and I'm here with Tammy, Lynn, and Heather, and we want to talk to you today about delegating. All those great tasks, whether it's for your business or your personal life, what are the things that you can, should, or maybe want to pass on to somebody else? I love delegating personally. It's taken me a long time to get there, but I have a few examples. But I'm going to kick it over to you, Heather. Why don't you talk about what do you move on to other people?
And how did you even get to that point?
Cleaning. So once a month I have a cleaner come in. Hi Michelle, if she's watching. That just gets to the stuff that I can never get to. So when I'm washing my floors, I can never really get down and do my baseboards. I can really never get to the top of my ceiling fans. Periodically, oh my goodness, I can't.
I would be afraid to look at the top.
That's funny. But like my fridge, my stove, all those little things that are in the back of my mind that I'm like, getting grudgy. So I delegate that. And how I got to doing that is my business picked up enough that I was able to just afford it once a month. It's under $100, but it definitely helps with the stress of that in the back of your head. And so that's kind of what I've delegated.
Is there anything that you've done with your business that you've sort of outsourced or?
No, not yet. I have periodically thought about a VA, but I just don't think my business is at a point where I can justify that yet. So no,
because for me, on a personal side, I don't have anything that I delegate, as I call it my bracelet here. But for business, I finally took the plunge and started outsourcing. I'm a control freak. So, I didn't notice that about you. So it was really difficult for me to take the step of where I, was going to hire some people to help me. So I have a VA as well. And I hire her to do like my closed captions on my YouTube videos for me. Awesome. So I get the videos up, she goes in and gets all my closed captions done. Because I have a client or a follower who is deaf, and she reached out to me, and she's a big follower, she's a big supporter, and reached out and said, would it be okay if you could do that? Yeah. So I did hire a VA who looks after that. I also use her if I need some quick updates to my website. I know that I can do them, but sometimes I'm just like, it's just easier to send her an email and she'll get it done. And then, I finally hired people to actually work with me in my social media business. And that was huge because I was reaching a point in my business where I was going to have to start turning business away.
Yes.
Right? I knew that I couldn't continue to do it on my own. So I have 2 people that work for me who are fantastic. They're doing a phenomenal job. And then I actually now outsource videos. So I don't know if you guys know Brenda Saint-Amand, but I have her create videos for me. I send her links from my clients' websites and around certain topics, and she creates the videos, and then I just pay her out of what money I earn from my clients. I don't charge my clients for it. I've incorporated it in, and it saves me huge amounts of time. She can pump out videos, if I need 2, 3 for one client, I can send her a week worth of work, and she pumps them out, and it really just huge for me from a time saver.
And a huge value add for your client.
Oh my God, huge value, right? When I reach out to my clients and say, because most of my clients, first off, they're probably not even really checking Facebook. They hired me because they just don't want to be involved in that element.
Right.
But when I say to them I need videos, they kind of chuckle. They're like, that's not going to happen. And I know videos are important for Facebook,
for sure,
for social media.
Yeah.
So this is a way that I'm able to get videos about their product or service out into Facebook for them. So it's a huge value just for my clients alone, because they don't want to be on camera. They don't want to invest the money in creating videos, like high-end videos, right?
I think sometimes what people need to realize, and I'm sure you can attest to this, is that from even just talking about like a VA, there are so many different places you can look for this help online. One of which, and I've personally used it when I did a little bit of branding. It's called Fiverr. And so basically, it's called Fiverr because most these little jobs are $5. And for VA purposes, somebody who's just going to pick up those little things, it's absolutely affordable for people.
Oh, it's huge.
Sometimes people think, oh my goodness, if I'm going to hire a VA and they're going to be doing X, Y, Z, it's going to be hundreds of dollars, and
it can be.
And it can be, but at the same time, I think it's important for people to realize that you can source that out, and there are very reasonably priced VAs and people out there to help you. And I mean, what's your time worth?
Well, this is it, right? And that's where you have to come down to your decision making. Like, I have several things that I outsource. I have domestic things that I outsource because I hate it. And I refuse to be the only one in the house that is responsible. So I just don't enjoy it. And to be honest, as embarrassing as it is, my very first apartment was 600 square feet, and I had a cleaning lady twice a month, because at that time I could, and that was that was my big win, is I don't have to do this myself, and they do a way better job than I do. But so there's those things, right? The stuff that gets you down because you don't want to spend your time there. But then there's also those things where you have to weigh the pros and cons, where you're in your business, and like I have a few things. I have a VA now that I'm working with this year for the first time, because my business got to the point where, like you, I can't grow all by myself.
Right.
And it was hard for me to let go of some of those things, because now I let go of some of the things that I actually like and that I'm good at. I also let go of some technology things that I'm really not good at, so thank you, Brooke. But it's making that leap, right? And recognizing I could do that implementation that I've outsourced, and I could spend the next 3 years trying to figure it out, or I can hand it off to somebody who has the time to devote to learning it and do it in months instead of years.
Yeah.
That type of thing.
Well, and the return is
value.
huge.
The return is massive.
We gotta do it, because then you can dedicate your time to working or focusing on elements of your business that are gonna generate the income.
Exactly.
Right? That's, I think, where the people
Yes.
forget that.
And it might not even, it could be in generating income, or it could be regenerating you,
Absolutely.
so that you're able to do better. And I think there's this issue that people have around thinking they're embarrassed that they hire cleaners.
I have no shame.
I'm so glad. But some people do, right? Some people are like, oh, I don't want to tell people because, there is nothing wrong with outsourcing, and there's nothing wrong with delegating, and there's nothing wrong with having your children help either, which has been my latest project. I have 2 girls, and we have made a plan, and my husband too, on Saturday mornings, we have an hour on the clock for all of us. Well, mine is more like 2, but almost an hour each. They have a few little jobs they do, and we get through a lot, but it doesn't seem like this overpowering whole thing, but a lot gets done all at once. It's like, come on guys, let's do it. And so I'm hoping that I'm, teaching them something good too.
Absolutely.
But it's also helpful for me, because it's like we start the rest of the weekend off and it's done. So that's good. But I think the biggest thing is people feeling like they're not worthy. B, is my business at a point that I,
let's
can
also
do it? And
be a little more realistic for anyone that is in a marriage. Most of those women, the business women, are probably trying to figure out how they're going to justify it to their spouse.
Definitely.
Right? Because the spouse
Definitely.
probably thinks you have the time to do it, and you now need to convince him that he needs to spend the extra money for you to have a cleaning lady come in.
Michael, are you listening?
I love that. Right? But that's where it really comes down to. They feel the pressure that how do I approach my spouse and tell him that I need to spend some money, doing, having someone clean my toilets so that I can focus on my business.
Yes.
And, that's a tough one, right? And I think that's where a lot of the women get stuck and they don't know how to move past that.
Well, and I think the challenge is too, is the likelihood of both spouses in the home, if you are with a partner, having the same ideals on what the house should look like all
Right.
the time.
Yeah.
It's very slim, right? Like,
Yeah.
I know in my house, like, you know, and I just got, but we all will get tired of that conversation, right? Like, I don't want to nag, and I don't want to do it, so.
That's really option.
Right? So
one
someone's
option.
got to do it, and it's
Yeah.
not going to be you, so let's figure this
So,
out,
we're
right?
hiring
It's like,
someone.
we're in it to win it, so we're, you know, it's cheaper than divorce.
And clutter, whether it's, right, clutter, whether it be, your clutter of your pile of things you gotta do. You wanna do the videos, you've got all these emails, you gotta get cleared out of your inbox, you've got all of this, you know, maybe you need someone more help with your taxes. Yeah, really. There's people who do everything. So, you know, or whether it's in your home, you need to hire someone to come in and clear out the crap because you can't see straight and you're not productive for your family, you're not productive for your business, and you're not good for yourself if you're all messed up with that stuff.
That's
It's
true.
just the way it is.
And I think you just kind of, you reach a point where you go, you kind of you hit that wall and say, this is it, I can't go any further.
Right.
So things have to change.
Yeah.
So if I want my business to continue growing, then I have to invest money
Yeah.
into it so that I can bring in more money, right? So
Sometimes you just have to find the money. If you're
Yeah,
really
yeah,
early
you're
on,
right, you're right.
you have a
You're
way
right.
of finding the
less
money.
Caesars.
Less Caesars,
Yes.
less Starbucks,
Yes.
Starbucks.
Yes.
But I'm just saying, like, if you
Yeah,
really
you're
thought
right.
about a couple of things, would it be worth it in the beginning if your budget is really tight?
Yeah.
Could I give up this, which equals $100 a week of nonsense, and get that right now?
Well,
you know,
and you have
if
to
it's moving forward, that's okay too.
Yeah, and you have to be
Absolutely.
open to the idea, when you clear that time and space for yourself, what can fill it? What can come in? And I know my experience has been the more strategic help I've gotten, whether it's domestic or in my business, the more my business has grown and rewarded me.
Yes.
And these investments are not as painful as they were in the beginning. But it is a big decision. It's a big leap. You know, I had to overcome my
Yes.
and the
That
no,
was
no,
me.
no, 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 I'm not doing that. But you know, and figuring out where is the right place.
Well,
to
and the
invest.
fear that they won't do it the way I do it.
That's right.
My God, and that's huge for me, right? Because I'm so.
Well, I imagine my
Right?
kids trying to clean the house. I'm running behind them. What are you doing it all?
Exactly.
It's a control thing. It's a control thing.
It is.
Right, and there is a really big element for women in particular of being able to let go, you know, because it's tough.
It
And I'm a
is.
big
tough.
fan of experts, right? Like, I'm not an expert in web development. I've never once tried to develop my own website.
Right.
Lots of people do it and they do wonderful jobs.
Mhm.
I'm not that person, so I have a great web developer. You know,
Yes.
I now have a house cleaner, housekeeper who's wonderful and does a way better job than my entire family together with the tools that she has could not do. Like, she's amazing. And it's knowing where you're going to get the return on your investment that you're looking for.
And it's a happier
Yeah.
Tracy.
I'm so much
Yeah, for
happier.
sure.
I want to see my
For
living
sure. You told us about it. Does any of you like ever like write that down, like physically write like the pros and cons of maybe
No.
taking something on? Okay.
Sometimes. I do. I have done that. Yeah.
I guess I never thought about it, right? I just, when I hit the wall, I literally hit the wall and said, I can't take on any more clients.
Yeah.
That's what made me go, you need to make some changes.
Yeah.
You need to, you know, bring in other people to assist you because this is it, you can't grow any further.
That's right. Yeah.
And there was no way I was stopping growing,
No,
right?
no.
Not for me.
But isn't it interesting when push comes to shove what we learn then?
Yeah.
Look at the things
Yes.
other people can do
Right.
better than me.
Because I easily could have incorporated that a lot earlier in my
Right.
business,
Yeah.
right? But I was too stubborn.
Yeah.
I was, or not, I don't know if it's stubborn, but mindset was, no,
Yeah.
no one can do it the way I do it. Not gonna happen, right? And
That's called growth.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
is.
And before this summer, I used to run every single EAL program on my property for the
Oh,
most part.
really?
So I led every single session. And this summer, I had a camp opportunity off-site,
Yeah.
which many of you saw on my blog
Mhm.
or on my Facebook. And it was the same week as my other camp contract started. And I tried as I may, I looked at every opportunity to be in two places at once, and it wasn't coming together for me. And I was able to bring in one of my senior facilitators to run the camp. And when I came back on Thursday, I thought, okay, well, I'm back Thursday, so I'll step in, and I didn't. I said, oh, I'm gonna step in as an observer and coaching my clients that have come to apprentice there, certainly. But I allowed her to run it, and she did a fabulous job. And that has now just opened up all kinds of opportunity, right? Because that's where growth happens, when you're not in your business every day of the week.
And duplicating as much of yourself into the next piece of it is really the big deal.
I mean,
Like when you
was
are
running programs in
leveraging.
2 places on the same day. Like,
That's
huge, right?
Yeah, you're
No
leveraging
kidding.
the efforts of others.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
that's the trust thing, right? Being able to
Absolutely.
trust. And
But I think it is
allow.
important, we've all reached the point where we made the decision to outsource, but I think it's important that people really do sit down and look at, you know, where they can afford to be able to
Right.
bring in that help.
Yeah.
And what they're gonna do once they get the help, and it's gonna free up the time, what are they going to do with that time?
What are the
Right,
possibilities?
yeah.